We do have a special guest speaker today. He is an entrepreneur, he is a best-selling author, and actually Will Smith played him in The Pursuit of Happiness. So can we give a warm welcome to Mr. Chris Gardner.
Thank you. Good morning. Terry, right? The first thing I want to make sure I share with you is the demise of the boomers is greatly exaggerated. Okay? Hey, all right, just so we're clear. All right? We're still running this shit. Okay? I'm sorry, that just came out. That just came out, all right? I'm sorry. All right. As a matter of fact, I wrote it right here. Wait there, put that on. Okay? I'd also, I'd like to say I am absolutely honored to be here today. There was a little bit of back and forth about how long that I would have to speak, and I was told that I'm going to have at least 3 minutes. So I'm going to keep this real tight. The first thing I want to do is I want to thank you all for having me, because I've been trying to meet Howard Schultz for 20 years. And the only reason I met him today is because of you all. So thank you for the hookup. And speaking of the hookup, man, if I had your email address, if I could text you, if I could get you on Instagram or Twitter or WhatsApp or wherever you hang out, I would share some things with you. And I would probably be saying to you and every other young person in America that I can the same things. Number one, I would be sharing with you the second most important decision I ever made in my life, which I made at your age or younger. And that decision was, I was going to become world class at whatever I did with my life. Not good at it, not pretty good at it, but world class at it. And let's define world class. Keep it simple. A conversation is being held and the question comes up, who's the best in the business? Somebody got to say your name. Same conversation, same question. Who's the best in the business? If nobody says your name, you got work to do. Same conversation, same question. Who's the best in the business? If nobody says your name and you don't care, get out of the business. You'll never be any good at it. But the ultimate validation in that scenario, and that conversation, when that question comes up, who's the best in the business? The ultimate validation is when somebody who does not like you says your name. Somebody in here know what I'm talking about. When the folks who will not take your phone calls are now hoping you'll return their calls. When the people who would not hire you yesterday cannot afford you today. That's when you'll know. You know when I knew? I knew when I got invited to speak here today. That's when I knew. Man, and if I had your email, if I had your text, if I could get you on any form of social media, I would warn you and every other young person in America. I would say to you, the people that you're ultimately going to be competing with are not in your school. They're not in this city. They might not even be in this country. Because of globalization and technology, they are all around the world. And while you, as a young person, within your rights, are enjoying yourself and having a good time, the folks that you're ultimately going to be competing with, they are someplace right now grinding, studying, networking, practicing, rehearsing. They coming up. And that's going to make the difference between who signs the front of the check and who signs the back of the check. Man, if I could get your email address, I would be blowing you up every day. I would be blowing you up every day. And another thing I say to you every day, wow. People say, well, Chris, why do you spell happiness with a Y? That Y is there to make us all mindful that it is you and your responsibility, you and your opportunity to create the life that you want for you and your family. I would be saying the same thing to you every single day. I would be telling you the person who cares most about you and your future lives in your house, not the White House. Did I just say that out loud? Man, if I could get your email, I would be blowing you up every day, and I would be saying one more thing to you in all caps. The world does not need any more average people. Average people need not apply. And if I had your email address, man, the last thing that I would say to you is this. Don't ever let somebody else tell you what you can't do. You got a dream, you got to protect it, all right? You want something, go get it. And I will give you one last piece of advice, if I could. And you and every other young person in the world, brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. And while you're standing there brushing your teeth, there's a scene in the film where I meet this guy in a Ferrari and I say, I got to ask you 2 questions. There's a new 2 questions. While you are standing there brushing your teeth, look at that person in the mirror and ask question number 1. If I could walk through a door tomorrow morning and be doing anything in the world that I say I want to be doing, what would it be? What would it look like? What would it feel like? What would it smell like? Engage all of your senses. And then ask yourself the second question. What did I do today to make tomorrow possible? Did I move the dial forward 1 notch? Did I take 1 baby step towards what I say is important to me? And if you didn't, then you got your answer. That's not what you really wanted to do. I thank you for this invitation. I'm looking forward to learning from you and what I can do. And you know what? In the last 10 years, I've spoken in over 80 countries all around the world. And I've never done this, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah. Drop the mic. All right, so Mr. Gardner has dropped the mic, and usually drop the mic means no one else can come up, but we actually wanted to have